Louisville, home of the best scrapper, also home of the best rap.
You an American, right? You an American, right? Where was Manny Pacquiao?
What up, what up? You're watching Red Room Sports, home of Ali Land, Boxing Talk, the Louisville Cardinals Daily, and the Ghetto Angler Fishing, only on the weekends. Alright, y'all, got some more boxing news for you. And the topic of the day is Manny Pacquiao versus Terence Crawford. Errol Spence holding up negotiations. Alright, so what's going on with this potential Manny Pacquiao versus Terence Crawford fight for May of 2021? Cinco de Mayo, you know what I'm saying? Manny Pacquiao's about to take over Floyd Mayweather's old fight date. Is Errol Spence standing in the way of this fight actually happening? Bob Arum had some words to say. He says Errol Spence the only one standing in the way of Terence Crawford fight. So, you know, obviously Terence Crawford's not only negotiating with Pacquiao and Errol Spence, but I'm pretty sure you guys, maybe a few other names out there. But I feel like this Pacquiao fight really has a chance of happening simply because Terence Crawford is in need of a fight. I think Errol Spence is kind of just sitting back, relaxing, and is going to watch and see how this plays out over the next couple of months as far as who Crawford decides to fight, who Pacquiao decides to fight. You guys isn't going anywhere. He'll be hunting for a fight, but I'm not sure if Errol Spence is going to be the first to fight you guys, or if Pacquiao or Terence Crawford will swoop in with a better deal. But as far as Pacquiao Crawford, I think there's a high probability of this fight happening if you guys Spence gets made here in the near future. It's going to be up to Manny Pacquiao to negotiate some really good terms for this fight. Does he decide to take a smaller portion of the fight, or does he decide to be the B-side since he's no longer a champion? We'll see how that plays out. Let's talk about some of this article. During the latest installment of the 3 knockdown rule with Stephen Kim and Mario Lopez, top-ranked promoter Bob Arum made an appearance and discusses a number of topics, including the hot topic of potential Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence fight. As Arum tells it, neither PBC nor its head man, Al Heyman, have proven to be obstacles in making the welterweight unification, but rather Errol Spence himself, who Arum says won't take the fight because he knows he'll lose. Check out what Arum had to say on the subject below. I talked with Al Heyman and he's ready for the fight, Arum said. The only one who seems like he's holding back on it, and maybe because he doesn't feel he can win the fight, is Errol Spence. That's the truth. Errol Spence is the obstacle in making that fight on Al Heyman, not PBC. Errol Spence. Spence throws out numbers, percentages. Again, we're very confident in the fight. We believe Crawford will beat him. Unfortunately, Spence, the same thing. The only issue is Spence doesn't want to fight him. Blame Spence. He doesn't want to get beat by Crawford. And I'm quoting this article simply because I feel like if Spence isn't going to fight Crawford, and there are no other big names out there for Crawford to fight, and Pacquiao really needs a fight at this point, I think that's the driving force that's going to end up making this fight actually happen. Spence doesn't want to negotiate. The only other obstacle that could stand in the way from Pacquiao Crawford actually happening is Jordania's you guys. Does Bob Arum decide, since he's seemed to have a decent relationship with Al Heyman, because he said he's been speaking with Heyman, but not with Spence because Spence wants too much money. So does Bob Arum decide, well, I can negotiate with Al Heyman a fight with you guys and Crawford, and I think I could get a better percentage than putting Crawford up against Pacquiao. I'm not sure how this is going to play out yet. I feel like Pacquiao's the bigger fight. I feel like Terence Crawford has called Pacquiao out a number of times. I don't understand, or I wouldn't understand why Crawford would decide not to fight Pacquiao at this point, being that he said this is the fight that he wants. If the fight can be made, hey, both guys are available, why not? Or does Pacquiao decide, hey, I have this champion in recess card, which I can pull and say, hey, I want to be the #1 contender for you guys' belt. I can negotiate a better deal myself if I go fight you guys, because he's going to get a better percentage of the fight if he fights you guys over Crawford. But Crawford's going to be a bigger fight overall. I think it would be up to Pacquiao. Does he decide to do the you guys fight because you guys is a better tune-up? Does he need a tune-up? Or can he just come straight back, go into a Crawford fight or a Spence fight if it can still potentially be made? I think the Spence fight is going to be harder to make because of the money issue, and Pacquiao's no longer a champion. I think Crawford, because he needs a opponent, would be a little bit more willing to negotiate with Manny Pacquiao. And I also feel like you guys is in a position just to be he's the happiest boxer in the world right now, because he has a lot of negotiating chips at the moment, and I feel like he's going to really show and prove over the next couple of years that he deserves to be in that spot. Unless he meets up with Manny Pacquiao, then his whole little dream is going to be over with. Let me know what y'all think, man. Is this Terence Crawford versus Manny Pacquiao fight going to happen? Is Errol Spence standing in the way? Or is Pacquiao going to go fight Jordanians, you guys? Hit me up down in the comment section below. Hit that like button for me. Tell a friend, anybody you know. You want to be a part of Red Room Sports, Ali Land Boxing Talk, the Louisville Cardinals Daily, or the Ghetto Angler Fishing. Holler at me down in the comment section, the WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, community, wherever you find me at. It's your boy Cardinal Red, and we are out of here.
There's a lot of possible opponents. Mikey Garcia, either Mikey Garcia, Errol Spence, or Crawford, and also there's boxers from Canada and Mexico that want to fight.
You're an American, right? You're an American, right? Where was Manny Pacquiao?
Louisville, home of the best scrapper, also home of the best rapper.